Good day, my name is Sylvester Mujigo, and today I'll be presenting to you 4 programs that I created throughout the semester. This includes the Aerobic Endurance Program, the Plyometrics Program, the Speed and Agility Program, as well as the Annual Periodization Program. The purpose of this presentation is not only to explain these programs, however, to also make scientific justifications of exercise selections, training variables, and manipulation of these training variables in increasing athlete performance while also preventing injuries. Although the 1,500 meters is described as a middle distance event, it is an event that physiologically depends on both the aerobic and anaerobic energy systems, with about 80% of energy being supplied aerobically and the rest being supplied anaerobically for those tactical accelerations and finishing sprints. Therefore, this program will focus on 4 key components: increasing VO2 max, increasing lactate threshold, as well as improving running economy. During the first month of the program, emphasis is on developing aerobic foundations through high training volumes at a moderate intensity. Progress into the second month, training intensity gradually increases with more demanding interval sessions and longer tempo runs. This is done to improve the athlete's lactate threshold as well as aerobic endurance power. Over the last month heading into competitions, overall training volume decreases or reduces while race-specific intensity increases. During the first month, 10-kilometer LSD runs are used to ensure that the body adapts heavily in using fat stores for energy supply. These are also used to improve joint stability or joint duration for intense training. In the month of training, we introduce the athlete to interval training. This is where they do 4 by 1,000 meter sets at 85 to 90% of the athlete's heart rate reserve. These are done to increase the athlete's cardiac output as well as improving oxygen utilization by skeletal muscles and enhancing aerobic power of the athlete. This tapering strategy reduces the accumulation of fatigue, preserving physiological adaptation and ensuring that this athlete is at his or her peak during competition season. Recovery runs are incorporated throughout the program to ensure aerobic adaptation while reducing muscle soreness and help prevent overtraining. This ensures that the athlete is consistent in performance at high quality during or throughout the season. And then lastly, we have intermittent tempo runs, which are done by 2 sets of 4 by 200 meters at 80 to 85% of heart rate reserve. These runs are incorporated to increase the athlete's lactate threshold as well as maintaining race pace aerobic capacity. The 100-meter sprint is a high-intensity event that greatly depends on the ATP system.
This system does not require oxygen and produces energy almost instantly. However, it has a limited capacity and can only sustain maximal effort for approximately 10 seconds before phosphocreatine stores become depleted.
Success in this event heavily depends on explosive accelerations, maximum velocity, strength and power, as well as efficient body and sprint mechanics. The plyometrics program is designed to improve the athlete's explosive power, rate of force development, sprint acceleration, as well as neuromuscular efficiency. The success of the plyometrics program is based on the strength shortening cycle
and depends highly on 3 phases.
Number 1, the eccentric phase. Number 2, the amortization phase. And number 3, the concentric phase. The program involves lower level plyometrics exercises such as line hops, ankle pogo jumps, progresses to moderate plyometrics such as squat jumps, drop jumps, and single leg jumps. It then progresses to more advanced plyometrics exercises such as bounding, broad jumps, knees to vertical jumps, box jumps, and then heads on to more sprint-specific plyometrics such as bounding, alternating leg of bounding, single leg hops, as well as hurdle jumps. These exercises are performed for a minimum of 3 sets of 8 reps with a minimum of 2 minutes in between. This ensures that phosphocreatine stores are fully replenished before the next set of exercises. This program emphasizes the principle of specificity in ensuring that the exercises are closely replicate the explosive demands of the sport. Secondly, progressive overload was achieved through gradually increasing exercise complexity, intensity, and training volume. Thirdly, adequate recovery was incorporated because neuromuscular adaptation is an important and key element of explosiveness in the 100-meter event. Finally, the program emphasizes quality over quantity. Every repetition is intended to be performed with maximal intent because explosive power is developed through high quality movements rather than high training volumes. Finally, I will now discuss my annual periodization program for a 100-meter athlete. This program integrates all the physical qualities developed throughout the year, ensuring that the athlete peaks in performance during the right competition. During the general preparation phase, volume is relatively high while intensity is relatively low. This is where we are building foundational strength, endurance, and movement quality. During the specific preparation phase, volume gradually decreases. This is where we are using a combination of acceleration activities, maximum velocity activities, as well as powered activities. During the pre-competition phase, focus now shifts to race modeling. This is where we are using a combination of block starts, flying 30s, as well as time trials and speed endurance activities. As we head into the competition season, focus shifts now to maintaining this strength and this power that we've accumulated throughout the year, as well as tapering to reduce fatigue and muscle cramps during competition periods. This program follows the principle of progressive overload, periodization, as well as specificity, where training volume gradually decreases while intensity relatively gradually increases, allowing the athlete to transition from general fitness to more maximum sprint performance. Strength exercises such as back squats, Romanian deadlifts, as well as hip thrusts develop force production, while power cleans, jump squats, and plyometric exercises convert the strength into power. Sprint-specific sessions during the specific preparation pre-competition seasons improve acceleration, maximum velocity, as well as running mechanics of the athlete, while tapering before competitions reduces the accumulation of fatigue as well as supercompensation, ensuring that the athlete reaches peak performance during the right time. Rugby is a high-intensity sport that constantly requires athletes to accelerate, decelerate, change direction, tackle, and jump, as well as intercepted with periods of low burst of activity. Energy production for this type of sport heavily depends on the ATP system, the anaerobic glycolytic system,
as well as aerobic respiration.
These systems work interchangeably in order to help the athlete perform better. Based on these physiological demands, I selected a series of acceleration drills coupled with resistance training or resistance sprints in order to improve horizontal force production as well as rate of force development to enable the rugby players to accelerate more quickly over short distance as well as be able to change direction. The ability to change direction during short bursts of sprints was developed through cone drills as well as shuttle runs. Finally, I have incorporated reactive drills into the program where athletes are able to respond to verbal as well as visual cues. These drills improve reaction time, decision making, and perception action coupling, making training specific to the unpredictable environment of the rugby sport. Throughout the program, training intensity as well as complexity was progressively increased with sufficient and adequate recovery in between each rep and each set to maximize adaptation. Overall, the program applied the principle of specificity, progressive overload, as well as recovery to ensure that the rugby players perform at their peak with effectiveness and safety.